Many individuals will be aware, with all the censorship going on and the light and the dark making itself known in the world right now, the battle between good and evil, that many individuals out there are speaking in code. The reason for this, as we know, is so that the light can communicate with the light, going undetected by the darkness. And this is how the galactics communicate. If you've ever had any interaction with a galactic light being, it may be within a conscious state, within this reality experience, through a vision, it may be through dream state. You will be aware that galactics don't speak a language. They don't speak English or any other language. They are telepathic. This is their form of communication. In essence, they know everything about everyone else, as everyone within their galactic civilization is connected telepathically. So this is the kind of communication that we are tapping into now as a collective, and we are going to be using more and more moving forward. And it's a great way to get a message across without it being distorted by the opposition. So this can be through verbal coding. It can be through written coding. Further to this, energetically, there's also coding being shared between individuals. If you've had an interaction, if you can remember or not, with a higher vibrational being, a galactic, an ascended master, an angelic light being, when they communicate with you, and this is one of the most powerful forms of code sharing, information sharing, is they will look directly into your eyes without saying a word. And what is happening is there is a code exchange taking place. They are sharing information with you, and you are sharing information with them. When we look into someone's eyes, and both people afford the other permission, grant them access to this information, there is a resonance. There is a connection between the two on a soul level. And on a soul level, this is where the information is shared. And then it is downloaded to the individual energetically. And thus it is translated for the individual, designed specifically for the individual, for their greatest understanding. So this is very interesting at the moment happening in the world. And it's an extremely powerful way to communicate without any interference coming in. Very similar to the effect of how twin flames will communicate. As we know, there's a lot of interference with the twin flame dynamic. And twin flames, during their journey, a lot of non-verbal communication will take place. And the forerunner of the vehicle of communication will be that of energetics. So just being in the other's energetic presence. So like a light being. Similar principle. Also looking into the other individual's eyes. And in that moment, it's an instant download, an exchange of information. And both get the answer to their questions and more through this resonance exchange. So people may be getting frustrated with some of the code communication going on in the world right now, but it is very necessary. It is very necessary that the light of communication is flowing and is being received by those who it is supposed to be received by. And the information remains undistorted on the way. So that that important information, when we shift into that reality experience, will be a rapid manifestation in correlation to the light information. And we get to, in essence, through practice, see how the coding is made manifest, how the communication becomes a reality experience without saying too much at all. That's why moving forward, right now and moving forward, and as we move into the future, it's less about what's being said verbally out there and more to do with the energy being relayed by an individual to others, because there is a wealth of information with the energy coinciding with the word spoken, although the energy is saying so much more. So moving forward with every interaction, always tune into the energy. And even if it initially isn't on a conscious level, there is an information exchange going on. There is very valuable information being shared at times by individuals out there. So receive it through feeling, and this will manifest into knowing. It's a very exciting form of communication. So just think to yourself, if you can remember, if you've had any exciting interactions through visions and this conscious reality experience in dream state with light beings where there was no verbal communication. And you'll see that in seconds, with that kind of information exchange with a light being, with that higher intelligence, that you will have information that can relate all the way over to a year. It can explain things about yourself, about them, about what's happening within your reality experience, what's happening on the world stage. And that wealth of information can take a year or even longer to translate, to unravel. And then thus you will understand the power of this kind of communication. This in essence is galactic communication. It is coding. It is the powerful way of the future.